Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Messy Hair and Naked Speed here, and today we're gonna be looking at a crazy replay. This replay is really funny, honestly. It's like really funny. Because all this guy does. So the Hive reached out to me on Discord, which occasionally I'll just take replays from Discord for free. Usually I would say 80% of the time it's gonna be paid, but this one's for free. So Hive reached out, he's like, crazy comeback, and he's right. This was a nice little comeback game. But what's really funny about this game is that he farms for like 30 minutes straight, and I'm basically not kidding. This is the greediest carry gameplay I've ever seen. He takes the videos where I say, oh, you need to free farm, you need to flash farm, to the utmost extreme. It is unbelievable. So let's kind of break it down a little bit, get into where, maybe I would not focus on farming. Even though Luna, if you are going to play hero and flash farm, is easily one of the best in the game. So his gameplay does align with his hero to an extent, and I like that. I do like that. All right, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the gameleap website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. The laning stage, I'm going to get into it very quick because it's a very short laning stage. He legit doesn't lane for very long. Like, this replay is so funny. This guy actually jungles for like 25 minutes, and so I'll kind of have to like break that down as well. But in the laning stage, what he does wrong is he pushes the lane, and this is something I go back to time and time again. Like, it's not that he's not even aware of keeping the lane back. For instance, here, I mean, he pulls aggro wrong. He could have pulled it to right here instead of here, where it's not under the tower, right? So this didn't need to happen. He also pulled a creep under his tower immediately, just to kind of show that. So like right here, he lets this creep go under tower. He should pull creep aggro off the centaur and keep this melee creep on this melee creep. Right? You don't want it to go under immediately. This is not good. Because if centaur didn't pull aggro here, then centaur could have pulled the wave back to his tower, which is what he should want to do. Because it's a lone druid position 5 with 2 quelling blades. Whose name is reported, but honestly, Lone Druid is really strong in lane, so even if it's support Lone Druid, you need to pull the lane back. But unfortunately, Centaur auto-attacks the wave a bit, Luna does a decent job of getting the lane back, but even from there, you think like, okay, he's pulling the lane back, right? He pulls aggro onto the range creep, he double denies it, this is fantastic, right? But then all of a sudden, he auto-attacks it twice for like no reason. Guys, stop autoing the wave for no reason. Unless you're pushing in the wave and you're trying to double up the wave on them, right? You're trying to make it where you have 6 creeps and they have 3, and then you dive them, or you hit level 2 first. That's fine. But you don't just, if you're trying to get the lane back, don't just randomly hit it. It completely defeats the purpose. You are defeating the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish. And then from there, at level 2, he skills glaives. Why would you pre-skill glaives? It's 2 minutes in. Why do you, if you don't want to skill Lucent Beam, because this guy's game plan is to farm jungle, if you don't want to skill Lucent Beam and you want to have 044, at least, which I don't recommend, this value point is good for laning, so you can secure creeps in a hard lane. Just don't skill it. Just don't skill the Moonglaives if you don't want to push in the wave, right? Even if you want to go 044, just hold the point, right? Because now you're just, every single time you auto attack, you're pushing in the wave. It's completely impossible not to push it in. Right? Like, this is not what you want, because he could shut down the centaur. The Spirit Breaker is so weak. The centaur, at this point, is not that strong against this lane. It's not weak, right? Their lane is not useless, but they are much stronger. They have level 2 Lunar Blessing now, which is incredibly strong. This is the main spike of Luna in the laning stage, because it increases the bonus ally damage from 3 to 9, and you get double that. So you get 18. Right? And so this is the point where you start to hit really hard, and with Lone Druid, it's insane. Like, kind of niche, but he gets 18 as well. Like, this combo is insane. But he's always pushing in the lane, so he's completely not using the fact that he can dumpster this laning stage because he has damn glaive skill. And so yeah, basically the wave is always under Centaur's tower, and it essentially kills the Lone Druid, so I think he dies here too. So yeah, it just kills both of them. Like, skilling glaives, and I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff as well, but skilling glaives and not having Lucent Beam to fight is literally killed both of them. All right, if there's one thing I do want to actually give this guy pretty major credit for, even though he could defend his tower if he won the lane, is the fact that at least he kind of gives up the tower when he's weak, right? At this point, His skill build does not enable him to fight whatsoever, right? So he shouldn't fight. And yeah, it's a pretty simple concept, but he does execute on this very, very well, right? He just starts hitting neutrals. He's going to go to top. He's going to go to this top camp, then down to this camp. And at this point, you don't want to farm Ancients. You just want to continue to farm the regular neutrals. You want to buy Morbid Mask so you can sustain it. He takes Broom Handle, which, you know, is a little sus. I don't know if he had a better option. I feel like he probably did. I feel like there's a few that are better than this, but whatever, it's fine. 8 damage is 8 damage. And then, yeah, he just kind of hits defensive neutrals. And optimally, this Lone Druid stops holding this tower and just lets it die. Because best case scenario is this tower dies and you get to farm under your tier 2. That's best for your game. So hopefully your supports don't hold the tower. But yeah, he makes a nice stack here. And he's going to hit a bunch of neutrals. The next thing I'd also like to mention is that I like when he chooses to push out the wave. Because, you know, this is one of the harder decisions to make. When you're AFK jungling, when do you go back to farm the creep wave? I would say there's two main times. Either A, when it's under your tower, or B, if the enemy team is showing in the other lanes, right? And so currently, there's 4 heroes showing top. You're not going to die solo to Centaur. You could die to charge plus Centaur, so that has to be his concern, right? If I'm playing this game, I'm concerned about, oh, you could also die to Prophet plus Centaur this game, and Spirit Breaker plus Prophet. So this is actually a very scary game for Luna, right? This is, especially with this build, right, where you just rush a mask. Okay, so like this is insane. You know, I would not farm this wave and then like go to the small camp because I would just be very afraid of getting charged because he's missing now or Prophet TPing on me. Like, yeah, the Prophet's busy, but are you really paying attention to that in the game? You know, that would be my question because it's hard, right? So he ends up getting charged. He backs off. Fortunately, has good timing here. Probably should click his Mask of Madness. I don't know exactly why he's holding it here. Maybe he knows he's getting charged or something. I'm not exactly sure, but personally, I would pop my Mask of Madness as much as humanly possible, right? That's how you're going to be efficient on this hero. Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know why he doesn't use Mask of Madness. He should use, like, if you're going to buy Mask, guys, and you're going to buy Manta, like, you should be using these items very frequently. Like, I hope he uses it here. Okay, he just doesn't use Mask. It's like a kill item to him. What? All right, please spam Mask of Madness, guy. There we go. Use it again. Wait, next camp, use it. Yeah! Let's go. But yeah, his general farming pattern is fine. At this point with Mask of Madness, you can start farming Ancients. So if the enemy team goes bottom, you should just dodge and farm towards Ancients. Which, yeah, they actually showed bottom here. So I wouldn't probably hit this camp. I would be very afraid of Spirit Breaker just happening to be in the area. Also, 13 minutes in, maybe Centaur has Blink. He does, because he had a good laning stage. And so this is really not a good time to hit this camp, right? You just saw them all bottom. This is the point in the time where like Prophet +1 kills you, Centaur kills you with almost anyone. It's not a game where he can just comfortably do this with these items. It's not like he has Wand, Raindrop, Dragonlance, because that would be the build where you could take like aggressive stances and try to bait for your team with like points and Eclipse. That's not the goal of his build. He needs to play like a complete wuss. And so, yeah, it's very important that he just doesn't step up. He doesn't show himself in dangerous areas, and he hits Ancients, which, yeah, he comes to top here, gonna push in the wave under the tower, gonna stack these Ancients. This is really good. Like, this is why when people tell me in this bracket there's no space, I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like in very few games, your team is getting completely run over. And even when they're getting run over, like, just hit the portal and farm these camps. There's never no space. You just don't know where to look because, I mean, even in this game, his team is doing fine, but there's plenty of space. There's space like everywhere, and there's definitely space in the triangle this game, right? So yeah, certainly I like his farming patterns here, taking Ancients, pushing out top, sees the enemy's mid, so sends Mantas to that wave. Love that. Up to the north camps because there's no Ancients yet. I totally like this. Mantas clear the wave. Very good. Back down to this camp. Hitting portal is fine. I don't mind hitting portal. No one was farming bottom. Okay, bit of miss micro on the Manta, but solid. Not bad. Hitting these defensive camps here. Onto this camp. Good. Stacking this camp is fine. I mean, you're not taking Ancients, but it's okay. Venge plus Invoker can do that if they want. I would probably not hit this wave. Nah. This is insane. There's no way you think this is safe. Like, it might end up being safe, but you can't play like that. He should click Manta. First of all, I wouldn't even want them to know where I am, because I do not want to get charged, and I don't want to get TP'd on with a Centaur. So, I can't believe that you just got to do that for free, and didn't get charged, and didn't get stomped. But okay, farming up the defensive neutrals. Once again, I would probably rather to be in the triangle, but at least he has like a... Oh my god, he has no points in power. I would want to try to be Ancients if I could be, like playing that side of the map, but it's not the end of the world to be bottom, especially if the enemy team is pressuring top, so I don't hate this. Like, I like that he's willing to go to these deep camps, because people just don't go here. They're not going to look here, they don't hunt here, they don't ward here. It's very, very unlikely to see someone die here, as he's going to hit portal bottom, and at this point, you could try to show up to a fight, because Centaur's dead, the PA showed top, I would consider running over. Okay, no fight happens, so obviously you're just going to farm out bottom, cut the next wave with the Manta. So I'd send a Manta bottom here. Okay, I would send my... Okay, yeah, he does. Perfect. This guy's farming efficiency is really good. This is like way higher than 3k farming efficiency. If his laning stage was better, like if his laning stage was even remotely acceptable, this game would just be over. Because like, he didn't even play the laning stage. He just shoved the wave in and then proceeded to jungle and his top net worth. Like, Luna's so good at this. I'm glad he's not getting distracted, because that's the reality. Like, if you're gonna pick a hero to do this, it has to be like Naga or TB or Alk or Luna. It has to be a hero that abuses it. If you pick like Faceless Void and play like this, it probably won't go very well. Void needs to help get kills, and he needs to help team fight to enable his game and to enable his teammates, because he just won't flash farm fast enough. But yeah, at this point, the only thing I'd say is I'd like to see him buy his shard. I don't hate the idea of like going Butterfly next and not buying shard, because like it's a great game for Butterfly against Bloodseeker and PA, but the shard is really OP, guys. If you don't know what it is, it gives an upgrade to Moonglaze, and when you activate it, you get 25% damage reduction from all sources. So you just take like very minimal damage, and then these glaives spin around you, and if people touch them, they take 75% of your attack damage. And it's 4 glaives, and they're constantly spinning around you. It does like crazy damage. So against Bloodseeker, who has to go in and man up on you, and PA, who does the same thing, it completely counters these heroes. If you get ruptured, you click your W. If you see you're getting charged, you click your W. If PA jumps on you, you click your W, right? With the shard. It's really, really OP, especially when they have heroes that have to use BKBs to kill you, or like a major one all-in spell to kill you. Because that's when you click the shard, and it becomes very obvious how to get high value out of it. So I would have liked to see that this game. He ends up brushing the Butterfly. This is where he finally dies for his sins. The only issue I have, I think, with his farming patterns is I'm not exactly sure how much he's watching the map for his kill combos. What I mean by that is like, I don't think he's watching the map enough. He is, I can tell, because he's like good about kind of taking the open space, staying away from his team, kind of like farming the open areas. So I can tell he's very good at that. So he's certainly watching the map. But like here, the guy is searching him through a ward, and he dies to this, right? Like, you cannot die to this. Also, I don't know when he clicked Manta. I think it was for Orc. I guess Purging Orchid's like okay. The Satanic usage here is really not good. So the execution is not great. I probably wouldn't Manta an Orchid from a support Furion. It's just not really a threat. I'd want to save it for when like PA goes on me to disjoint her auto attack. So like, this is when I would want to click Manta. And then this is also when I would want to click Satanic. But he clicked Satanic early, so he's getting chain stunned during the Satanic. So he only has a third duration left. Pops his ult, and now gets Bash. And I wouldn't pop my ulti either, which might seem insane, but I would want to really get value out of my Satanic. I'd want to pop the Manta and pop my Satanic at the same time, and then I want to hit the lowest armor hero, because you heal based on the damage you deal. So basically, yeah, you hit the Furion here, because he's not going to kite you, and he's very squishy. So he easily could have lived there and honestly killed them all. Like, straight up, he could have killed them all. If he bought his shard and clicked Satanic and Manta at the right times, which hopefully you can see now, you want to click it to disjoint the main damage source, which is not a support Furion, then he'll never die. So that would be my suggestions there. And at this point in the game, I hate that he doesn't have his shard, and you have to look to fight. Like, at some point, guys, you're on your timing, right? And when you're on your timing, you need to enable your team. You want to play with them at some point. So like, for instance here, he's ready to go. You don't, I mean, yeah, buying Silver Edge is good against PA. I assume that's what he's buying. But you don't need it to fight. Like, you have, this is your giga timing. And then with your shard, you're like unstoppable, you know? And so I would love to see him fight. I mean, he's playing too much to a game plan. And this is where like you watch too many gameleap videos. I don't even want to say that. I hear people say that. It's like, I watch too many. I'm suggesting you fight, you know, you have to fight. When you hit your timing, you fight. This is like, it's too much farm. The way you want to optimize Dota is you understand when your hero hits their general peak, and there's multiple peaks throughout the game. Sometimes your peak can be level 6 and then level 18 for whatever reason. Maybe when you're level 18, you also have like 3 items, you know? Maybe it's level 6 and then like 3 items, you know what I mean? Something like that. And these are the timings you should be looking to click a smoke, right? Get a quick kill and then go back to farming. But if all you do is farm, it's very hard for your team to play the game because they just are basically missing a hero for 30 minutes. And thankfully, his farming is very efficient and he's picked one of the best heroes to do it. And so it's not completely griefing the game. In fact, he's going to end up carrying this game, which is wonderful because he's so farmed, which I respect, right? I'm glad he's farmed. Oh, he's going dataless. I feel like this is a Silver Edge game. But yeah, essentially the enemy team tilts out and like before he even interacts with the game, they're able to go high ground. So this is a match. I mean, basically my main concern for Hive is if his team gets run over a bit harder in their other lanes. Like they lost their lanes, and trust me, the big thing I'd love to say that I loved about his gameplay, because people are gonna be like, oh, speed, I have no space and the game ends if I play like this. His Manta usage was very good. He was good about pushing out waves, and he was very good about forcing the enemy team back and pushing out like some of the deep waves of Manta. He was very good at that. And that's going to delay the game because people will see pushed in creep waves and TP stupidly, and they will split up because of how you are farming. The way in which he is farming is very, very, very good. His laning state, terrible. His itemization, fine, actually. Not great. I hate that he doesn't have a shard at this point in the game. But whatever, you know, it's fine. He's got some big items. And now he's huge. Like, you know, he's hit the Exodia timing, and he's going to go end the game. And yeah, the game is just going to end. This is just too funny. I don't know. This game is just crazy. It was actually Farm Simulator and then run it down mid with Aegis. Which, like, you might be like, oh, it's such a good game plan. Once again, the problem is if your team will get run over if you play like this. I'm not saying show up to the fight with Mask of Madness Yasha. I'm saying when you have Manta and you're level 14 with points in Eclipse and close to max Lucent Beam, if they dive a tower, you need to look, right? Because if you turn the fight, it will be way more farm. Especially if you save a teammate or two and you get a kill or two, it is way more farm than hitting neutrals. It's not even close, okay? Like, it's not even close. And so you have to be very, very aware of that. Also, like, taking Roche when your team is in the middle of taking a team fight is suspect. But all right, well done, Hive. I love your farming. I love your character choice, your hero choice, if you're going to farm. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.